coworker kept explaining my job to me, so I publicly corrected his structural calculations in front of clients. I'm 31 female, a structural engineer in Christchurch. I specialize in earthquake retrofitting, which is obviously pretty important here. I've been doing this for 8 years, have my chartership, the whole thing. This new guy Brendan joined our firm maybe 5 months ago. He's 28, came from Auckland with like 2 years of experience. Nice enough at first, but then he started doing this thing where he'd explain basic engineering concepts to me, like stuff I learned in my second year of uni. The first time he explained what a shear wall was to me, I thought maybe he was just nervous or something, trying to seem knowledgeable, whatever. But then it kept happening. He'd explain soil liquefaction to me. I wrote my thesis on soil liquefaction in Christchurch. He explained moment frames to me in a meeting, in front of clients. I tried to brush it off, but it was getting embarrassing. My boss noticed and asked if everything was okay, and I said yeah, just Brendan being enthusiastic. Didn't want to seem like I couldn't handle it. The breaking point was 2 weeks ago. We were on site doing an assessment of a building that needed retrofitting. The clients were there, building owners, their lawyer, the whole crew. And Brendan starts explaining to me how to calculate lateral loads while I'm literally in the middle of doing the calculations. I was so done. So I just let him talk. He kept going, getting more confident. And then he said something wrong, mixed up the seismic weight calculation and used the wrong formula for the site class. And I just let him finish. Then I turned to the clients and said, actually Brendan's made an error there. This is site class D, not C, so the calculation needs to account for the softer soil profile. The building would fail with his numbers. His face went red. I pulled out my tablet and showed them the correct calculations, explained why his approach would have been dangerous. Basically did a whole 5-minute thing on why you need to actually understand local soil conditions. One of the clients actually said, oh, so you're the one we should be listening to then. Brendan tried to say he just misspoke, but I was like, no, that's a fundamental error that could have meant inadequate strengthening. He barely talked for the rest of the site visit. When we got back to the office, he pulled me aside and said I embarrassed him on purpose. I said yeah, I did actually, because he's been embarrassing me for months by treating me like I don't know my own job. He went to our boss complaining that I was unprofessional. Boss asked what happened, and when I explained, boss basically said maybe Brendan should focus more on learning from senior engineers than explaining things to them. Brendan's been weird with me since, like overly polite but also clearly annoyed. Some of the other guys think I went too far doing it in front of clients. But like, he was literally giving them wrong information. That's not just annoying, that's dangerous. Also, maybe don't explain earthquake engineering to someone who's been working in Christchurch through all the retrofitting for the past 8 years. Now for the top comments. You corrected his dangerous errors because it's your job. You did not do it in retaliation. This is not a he did this so I did that scenario, because you absolutely had to correct him. Anyone in your position would have. Don't frame this as you retaliating and maintain you were simply doing your job. I feel like you did him a favor professionally by calling him out in front of clients, because this way he will likely think twice about mansplaining in his next job, because he got the cringe from the clients. Had you called it out privately or at the office, it would have been the whole uptight female shtick. Agree, people act like public correction is some brutal humiliation, but in a safety-critical field, it is literally risk management. He chose to grandstand in front of clients on a topic he half understood, and she chose to protect the building, her license, and the firm's reputation. If his takeaway is I felt embarrassed, instead of I nearly underdesigned a retrofit, that is on him, not on her tone. Yeah, exactly. The stuff they are doing has human health and safety, depending on their work. The mistake isn't, oh, we lost some money because we manufactured a batch of widgets that look wonky. It's a mistake that could actually cost lives. Engineers at OP's level get paid the big bucks because we trust them to not make stupid mistakes. The coworker thought his gender magically granted him the same level of experience and seniority and knowledge as the OP, so he could be trusted with the same level of credibility to not make mistakes that his female superior held. He was wrong. The lesson learned was that junior hires need to have humility, and soil stability parameter knowledge is not stored in the balls. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not firing the cleaning lady because my girlfriend asked me to? This is a dumb argument, but I really need people to weigh in because my girlfriend and I somehow ended up in a full debate over it. I, 42 male, have a cleaning lady who comes every other week. She's incredibly hardworking, very friendly, and over the 2 years I've known her, she has proven to be completely trustworthy. She usually comes while I'm at work, and I get to come home to a spotless house. Honestly, one of life's top-tier pleasures. A while back, she mentioned that she'd had a can of Pepsi from my fridge while she was cleaning. She even asked if she should pay me back. I told her absolutely not, that she has my full permission to grab a drink or a quick snack if she wants. Cleaning someone's entire house is physical work, and I don't expect her to go hours without hydrating. Since then, she's occasionally had a soda, a glass of juice, or once, she made a piece of toast. That's it. She has never taken advantage, never helped herself to meals, snacks, or anything beyond a tiny pick-me-up. So fast forward to the other night. My girlfriend, 38 female, was over and casually mentioned she saw my cleaning lady stealing from the fridge. I explained she definitely wasn't stealing. She has my permission, and I'm the one who offered it. Plus, she works consistently the whole time she's here. A 60-second break doesn't magically make her unprofessional. My girlfriend insists it is unprofessional and that it could lead to boundary crossing. I told her I've known this woman for 2 years and there has never been a single issue. My girlfriend, however, thinks this is some kind of red flag and says I should fire her before it gets worse. Now I feel like I'm losing my mind. Why would I fire someone who does an excellent job, has never betrayed my trust, and only takes what I explicitly allow? To me, this feels like a non-issue. So, am I missing something? Am I being naive? Or is my girlfriend blowing this way out of proportion? Not the a-hole. Your cleaning lady is following predetermined rules and is not taking advantage of you. As you said, she's hardworking and doing what you agreed with. Why mess with what's not broken? Exactly my argument. I would make sure girlfriend hasn't abused your cleaning lady in any way. As in verbal, you don't want her to chase off your gem of a cleaning lady. Your cleaning lady, your place, your choice. I think that she's the one being weird about it. My girlfriend thinks it's weird. I don't understand what's so weird about it. My house is clean and she does a great job every time. That's all I care. You're dating a mean girl. I wouldn't appreciate someone I've dated for 5 months telling me how to run my home. My wife used to be that cleaning lady. Cleaning an entire house in a few hours is freaking hard work. You're a good human. Your girlfriend? Maybe not so much. Her mask seems to have slipped a bit. How people treat the help is telling. It is hard and she has multiple clients a day. I don't see how it is inappropriate to sit down and drink a glass of juice. It's not like she stole my dinner. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to cover for my coworker during her mental health breaks, even though I know she's struggling? I, 25 female, work as a case coordinator at a community clinic. It's a demanding job, and our small team is constantly stretched thin. One of my coworkers, Lena, 29 female, has been going through a rough time. She lost a parent earlier this year, and her workload has understandably been harder for her to manage. At first, I volunteered to pick up some of her cases whenever she needed a breather. It wasn't officially assigned to me, I just didn't want her to drown. But over the past few months, those breaks have changed from occasional moments to daily disappearances. Some days she'll step outside for a reset and I won't see her again for an hour. Other times she'll ask me to update her case files because she can't focus today. I get it, I really do. But I've become the default person picking up the pieces and my own workload has gotten out of control. Last week, I had 3 emergency cases come in back to back. At the same time, Lena messaged me asking if I could just handle 2 of her follow-ups because she needed a walk. I told her gently that I couldn't. I was already drowning. She responded with, "Okay, but I thought you understood what I'm going through." I felt awful, but I didn't take on her cases. Later that day, my supervisor called me into her office. She'd gotten feedback that I was less supportive lately and asked if everything was all right between me and Lena. I told her I cared about Lena and wanted her to get whatever help she needed, but I couldn't keep taking her work on top of mine. My supervisor gave me a look that basically meant we all need to be team players. I didn't argue, but I went home feeling like I'd betrayed someone who trusted me. Yesterday, Lena barely spoke to me. I tried to check in, but she brushed me off. One of our other coworkers quietly told me Lena had said I didn't care about her mental health. That honestly broke me a little. I've been trying so hard to be supportive without losing myself in the process, but now I feel like the villain in the story. I'm torn between wanting to be kind and realizing I'm being taken advantage of, even if not deliberately. I don't want to resent her, and I don't want her to sink, but I'm close to burning out myself. Does she take some of your workload when you're struggling? No? Then it's not a very good team, is it? If this lady can't get through her day without your long mental health walks and can't do her own work, she needs to go off sick. You're not the problem here, and you shouldn't let your boss imply that you are. No, she doesn't. I work even when I am not mentally okay. Not the a-hole. You need to go back to that manager and explain how many hours of work you did for Lena as a team player. That you helped her where you could, but you can't anymore. And at no time did you say rude things to her. Lena needs to apologize, make it right, and thank you for helping her. You need to write a follow-up email to HR too. They are taking advantage of you. I'd even make it straight with the coworkers. Hello, it has come to my attention that someone thinks I am not being a team player or not caring about mental health. That is blatantly a lie. I have taken on extra work during the last X months. However, I no longer have the time with an influx of emergency cases. If you would like to sign up to help her, please let manager know. But it sounds like you may need to find someplace else. This place is not great with supporting you. Thank you. This really made me feel better. I will compose the email to the HR and see what he has to say. Not the a-hole. Make a list of all the things you've done for Lena. Make it clear you've done your part. At this point, Lena should be doing more of her work, not less. It's been long enough for that, or for her to be told to take time off and replaced with someone who can do their work. Talk to your boss again, and possibly HR if the boss doesn't care still. This is not okay. You already have your own heavy workload. You do not need hers. And you really don't need her making it a hostile work environment by complaining to coworkers or the boss about it constantly. Thank you. I will submit the writing just like you said. Last story. Would I be the a-hole if I tell my coworker he can't participate in Secret Santa due to his conditions? Plus update. Original post. Okay, so I'm hosting a Secret Santa at work. It's an employee-run event, no managers involved, and I have been the one to host it for the past few years. I made up some questionnaire slips, sent out an email, and started handing out slips to those who want to participate. One of my co-workers, we'll call him Trey, who I actually really get along with, can be difficult at times and has chosen my hosted event as one of those times for some reason. Anyways, here's how it went down. I handed him a slip since he participated last year, and I assumed he would want to play again. He took the slip from me and then asked me, "Can I just buy someone a gift and not get one?" I told him no, it doesn't work like that. Someone is going to draw his name, and they're going to want to get him a gift. He told me to just put in someone's name who doesn't want to play. I said, "They don't want to play though, so I'm not gonna do that. You either play or you don't. There's no in-between." This just makes sense in my head. But he kept arguing with me, saying he really doesn't want any gifts, and he doesn't need any more clutter in his house, but he still wants to buy a gift for someone. Another coworker overheard our conversation and kind of called me out for it, saying, "Damn, just let Trey give a gift to someone and put someone's name in at random. Someone gets an unexpected gift, and Trey doesn't have to receive one." I really hate the idea of this, but I told Trey I would think about it. But that just makes no sense to me. I'm not gonna put a random person's name into the hat, and I'm not gonna start asking around who wants to get a gift but doesn't want to buy one. I feel bad because I want Trey to be able to play and participate with us, but I don't like getting pushed into changing rules and making exceptions for people. In my head, the way I set it up is the way the game is played. You either play or you don't. Am I wrong though? Should I just let him donate his gift to someone else? Maybe his gift could be for the break room? Oh, this is a good idea too. I'm going to suggest this to him. Why don't you recommend that Trey ask for a donation to a charity for his gift? He could write down that he doesn't need anything and ask for a modest contribution made to one of a list of charities. Thank you for this. I ended up giving him this as an option. Basically, I told him he could choose to find someone to put in his place or write down to donate to charity in his name. He is thinking about putting another of our coworkers' kids down for fun. I'm going to let him participate so long as he gets it figured out on his own. Thanks everyone for the ideas and recommendations. For those that were a bit aggressive in your responses, I just want to say, I know this sub can get really heated, and there are some really disturbing posts here sometimes. But this was more meant as a fun way for us to settle our little situation. We got it handled and all is well. Now for the update. Hey guys, the issue has been resolved. You can see some of my replies for the full story. In short, I have asked him to handle the logistics of his gift, and I'm going to let him play. The post is still getting some traction. I was going to ask the mods to close it, but I really enjoy reading about people's work Secret Santa experiences. So keep the stories coming, lol. I'd like to say a few things about some points people keep making. 1. Just let him play and don't put his name in, and then one person won't have to buy a gift. My response: it takes the fun out of the game for most people. Like we saw with Trey, pretty much everyone wants to buy a gift for someone. That's why they play. Getting gifts is always fun too, of course, but we all love to buy gifts for people, and I'm not going to take that away from anyone. That's why I asked Trey to find someone on his own who is willing to do that. 2. I pressured him into participating when he didn't want to. My response: okay, I know I didn't say it outright, but just so everyone is aware, it is voluntary participation. No one has to play. Trey wants to participate, just without receiving a gift in return. 3. Have a raffle for whatever gift he gets. My response: to be frank, I really just don't want to set this up. I was pressured into doing the Secret Santa by my coworkers again because I've done it in the past and no one else will really organize it. But I'm extremely busy at work right now and had so many issues last year with managers getting involved. I really didn't want to have to do it again. Before you say I shouldn't have done it at all, I'll explain myself a little. For one, it started as an alternative to the absolutely terrible job our company does for their Christmas gifts. It ends up being a lottery every year with some people getting huge flat screens and others getting a dog bowl lol. We started doing Secret Santa as our own way of taking control and making things fair and fun, and also being able to further bond with each other. It's a small company and we're all pretty close, especially us hourly folks. 2. The company is shutting down on December 31st, and this is a way for us to kind of go out on a high note in regards to our friendships and work relationships. Some of us may never see each other again. It's been a good bonding experience for us in the past, so I figured we should do it one last time while we can. Well, I've rambled on long enough, lol. Thanks for listening, everyone.